The genius that you see in others is your own suppressed ideas. And that is the quote of the day. Welcome back to the Quote of the Day show. I'm your host, Sean Croxton of SeanCroxton.com. I might have just a little bit of extra enthusiasm in my voice today because today's clip is by my main man, my good friend, Jake Ducey. It might have been 2 years ago when Jake first came on my radar. He sent me an email when I was doing the Underground Wellness Radio podcast. And he's like, man, I wrote a book and I think you'll like it. And I would love to be on your show. And at the time, I was busy with one of my online summits. And I think I just put it into a folder and forgot about it. And Jake, a couple of weeks later, emailed me again. And he might have emailed me again. So he was really persistent. I eventually read his book. I loved his book. I had him on the podcast and he crushed it. And we have just become good friends. Like we hang out and we go to basketball games and stuff together. And so I'm just so happy for his contribution to the world because he is out there crushing it, helping people on Instagram, YouTube, doing live events. And so I'm really excited about today's talk. And, what he's talking about here really resonated with me. And I think it's really going to resonate with you because, for me, I've always been an ideas guy. I've always had all kind of like crazy ideas that I thought were really good. And you know what would just piss me off is when I would see one of my ideas online or I would see one of my ideas on TV. And it's not that somebody stole my ideas, just that somebody actually went out there and did it, And at some point, I just got tired of that. I was tired of so much stuff. I was tired of having ideas that I wasn't doing. I was tired of making New Year's resolutions that I wasn't doing. I was tired of being broke. I was tired of so much stuff. And it took that being tired to get me to do something about it. And I think everybody out there who's listening to this episode is tired of something. But for a lot of us, we just have to get tired enough. And so hopefully this talk here will make you realize that you've pretty much hit your tired limit and that it's time for you to actually get up, take some action and do something about it, to go out there and create something and to change people's lives. And so I hope you enjoy this. Here's Jake.
So we're going to talk about consistency and the rule of 5. This is a term that Jack Canfield created and talks about in his book, The Success Principles. So when Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen created the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, which I think whether you're in New Zealand or in Canada or here, everyone's pretty much heard of that, right? Chicken Soup for the Soul series, 500 million copies sold. All right, did okay. And when they were putting their book out, their first book, no one knew who they were. They got denied by 135 publishing companies, one after another, after another, and after another. Sold 500 million copies, and they were denied by 135 publishing companies. That's pretty insane. So, when they finally got a small Florida publishing company to take them, they said, here's our goal. We're going to sell 100,000 copies in the first 12 months. Here's what we're going to do. And their own publisher laughed at them. Okay. That's the most unheard of thing ever. 100,000 copies. No one's ever heard of you. You have no foundation to put your work out to. How are you going to do that? So they started studying other people that were doing that, starting to study other great authors, other people that had done a great job. And when they were out studying, they found out something very interesting when they were talking to a man. And that guy said, if you're trying to chop a huge tree down, are you going to go up there and just take a couple huge hacks, post one YouTube video, 2 YouTube videos and stop? Are you going to do one speech and stop? Are you going to put yourself out there one time and stop? Are you going to take one hack at the tree? Are you going to start one business that failed? Or are you going to be like Henry Ford and go 3 or 4 times? Or be like Abraham Lincoln who paid off debt for years and then it ended up being one of the most iconic figures who ever lived? Took the hacks at the tree. So he said, why don't you just take a few hacks every single day? Why don't you just take a few hacks every single day? He said, I don't know, like 5 of them every day. And they said, let's call it the rule of 5. So he said, instead of working 20 hours a day for 2 weeks and then burning out and quitting, why don't instead we apply the rule of 5? We'll do 5 things every single day. 5 actions times 365 days out of the year. Not very good at math myself. If anyone wants to throw out what number that might be. That's a lot of inspired actions. 365 days, 5 of them. May take you one day, you might do 5 things that take you a course of an hour. Right? So for me, it might be YouTube video, it might be sending out a couple other emails. I could do it in an hour or two some days. Right? It doesn't need to all be 9-hour tasks or logging a 9 to 5 every single day for something that you're building outside of the context of needing to show up. Of course, if you need to show up and that's part of your contract and that's part of your job, show up. But the rule of 5. 5 things every single day that you can do. Some days it might be 1 hour, and some days it might be 5 hours, but 5 things that you can do every single day. So I want to take a little bit of time, and I want you guys to know this is something that you can tune in, put it on an index card, and you carry your index card with your pocket. You just don't go to sleep before you finish. We're not talking about let's make sure it's 12 hours a day every single day, but we are saying let's keep the momentum going, because I've talked to so many people that say today here in this room that say I started and then I stopped, then I started and then I stopped, then I went for 3 months and then I stopped, then I went for 2 months and I stopped. What advice do you have? Let's break it down into bite-sized chunks. And instead of trying to swing for a home run right away, let's just try and put ourselves on base. Let's try and put ourselves in a position to win. So 5 things that we can do every single day to start to move closer, right? That could be anything. That could be from pitching your services to a new person. It depends what your industry is. But I want everyone to take a time and just write out 5 things. Obviously, it's going to vary every single day, but I just want you to experience it at least once. So you can see, you can wake up in the morning, you do your thing in the morning, and you put down, all right, I got to go to work today, or I got this thing that's currently paying my bills, but I'm working on this side project. What are 5 things that I can do at the end of the day or throughout the day that will equal 5 results? At a time, I might be emailing 3 different people with 3 of the 5 things. It doesn't need to be big tasks. It's a lot of small tasks. There's 50 people in this room today, not because I've done a lot of big tasks, but because I've shown up every day. Okay, I'll show up here, I'll speak today, I'll speak for free at this school, I'll make a YouTube video today, I'll answer these Facebook messages right now, I'll do this thing right here, I'll email this person, I'll ask this person to mentor me, I'll ask this person for advice, I'll invest with this person so I can learn this skill, I'll read this book, I'll spend 45 minutes watching Bob Proctor videos and taking some notes. It doesn't need to be crazy, but that consistency level and having some type of structure, and that's why I like calling it the rule of 5. So I hit my rule of 5 today. 5 things, just on a note card, right? So it might be to make, for Ashley, it might be to post an Instagram of one of her art pieces, to spend 2 hours on a client that she's working, that's already paid her for a sale, It might be starting to work on her prints that she's going to be selling. 1 hour working on her website. So let's just take a minute or two and let's write out 5. You can write out more if you come up with more, but just get in that process so then when you go home, you've already done it once. And that's why little, simple, small steps are important. So I need you all to just get tired of ending the year again and having your goals and your things you're going to do again this year. And then the year got to an end and nothing happened again. Again, the next year, just getting tired of playing small. The next year, and the next year, and the next year. Like, I'm tired of not being so totally overbooked on every single speaking engagement, every day of the week where I'm like, we can't even answer all the... I'm tired of that. And I want you to get tired of keeping your gifts inside of you. I want you to just get tired of not acting on your new ideas. Ralph Waldo Emerson has a beautiful quote. He says that the genius that you see in others is your own suppressed ideas. The genius that you see in others is your own suppressed ideas. So if you have an idea and you leave this weekend and you don't act on it, I promise you in one day or in 5 years or in a decade, you'll say, that was my idea, and someone is out there killing it with your idea. Because where's all the ideas coming from? Infinite intelligence. So if you say, I'm open, I want a new idea, you'll be receiving a great new idea. It'll come through in the shower. It'll come through in your journaling. It'll come from you when you're on the treadmill. And if you don't act on it, infinite intelligence will go and give that idea to someone else who's going to say, I think that he's ready. I think that she's ready, because you don't really seem to think that's ready. So here, why don't you just go back and I'll just create the same old for you. Meanwhile, I'll give it to him, and then you're going to call it genius, but really it's your own suppressed ideas. I need you to do a huge favor, is that this year you release your music, and for 365 days you make a YouTube video. And you learn Spanish the way that you want to learn Spanish. And that you say, okay, so far, I got 500 people in my organization. I got 2,000 people in my organization. In the next 12 months, I will double that in 12 months what I've done in the next 3 years, because I'm tired of sitting in the audience at my network marketing events and watching the leaders on stage when I know that I can do every single thing that they can do. It's like I'm tired of waiting to go travel. I'm tired of finally hoping that an opportunity is going to come and present itself to me. I'm tired of not challenging myself. I'm tired of saying that I'm young, so right now success is going to take a while for me. And that dissatisfaction is a really powerful thing. Just being tired of that is a really powerful thing. I'm tired of not flying first class, or I'm tired of not being able to pay for my child to go to school and I got to go take out more debt. I'm tired of that, because you can reach a whole new level. Like, I'm tired of only putting $9 of gas in the tank, because I don't know if I could fill the tank up, because if I look at it right now and I look at my online banking right now, I'm going to start to think, well, maybe, if there's a little bit too much out. So I need you to write down what you're tired of right now. Like, what are you just tired of right now in your life that you just, it can't go on. You can't come back next year to this event and be like, dude, I was so fired up and I didn't do anything. Just like this year that you just say, I'm going to open myself up. I'm tired of thinking that I'm as good as them. It's like, I know you know that you're as good as someone who's crushing it at a more elite level than you are. I know that you know somewhere inside of you, even though you're doubting yourself, that you're just as good, that you're just as powerful, that you can do all the same things. And I'm tired of you watching them go with the ideas and the visions and the things that you want to do and say, dude is just gifted, dude is just a genius, dude is just on fire. There's way more guys in the NFL that can throw a ball better than Tom Brady. There are way more guys that can run a 40-yard dash better than Tom Brady. But Tom Brady was tired of watching everyone's name get called on the draft except for his. Steph Curry, last year's MVP, was tired of hearing that he was too short, he couldn't finish around the rim, he wasn't able to lead an NBA team because he wasn't quick enough, he didn't have the skill set. He was tired, so he's like, okay, if you can't finish around the rim, I'm just going to start shooting from half court. I'll just start practicing from half court. That's what he did. So I want you to just really look at where you're tired right now.
That was Jake Ducey. His website is jakeducey.com. That clip came from Jake's live event that he had here in San Diego. It was called Rat Race to Dream Life. And I was talking with Jake a couple of weeks ago at lunch, and I was like, Jake, we got to put something together, like something really cool, really exclusive for the Quote of the Day listeners. And so Jake is offering to you 4 video clips. It's about 30, 40 minutes of content from his Rat Race to Dream Life live event. If you want those 4 videos, go to jakeducey.com/dreamlife. Again, that's jakeducey.com/dreamlife to get your 4 free videos. Again, it's like 30 to 40 minutes of content. And so really excited about that. I love when my guests put together really cool packages for my listeners for free. And so scoop that one up. And please leave a review and a rating for the podcast, and also subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And I will see you tomorrow with Finance Friday. See you later. Peace.